Winkle. Okay, Matty Kay. You the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Lord, thank you for this day and this beautiful weather. Help us to make good decisions today. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Good evening, everybody. We're now to call the meeting to order. If you have a cell phone, please turn it off. If you wish to speak in the public comments, please raise your hand and wait to be recognized. Would you do the roll call, please?
Hello, sir. J.P. Deaton.
Here.
J.P. Olson.
Here.
J.P. Farrow. Here. J.P. Johnson.
Here.
J.P. Phillips.
Here.
J.P. Hicks.
Here.
J.P. Mack. Here. J.P. McNeely.
Here.
J.P. Hall.
Here.
J.P. Swafford.
Here.
And J.P. Howerton.
Here.
Thank you.
Next item of business is disposition of journal proceedings. If there's no addition or correction, I need a motion to approve the minutes. Jack?
One correction on the second page, up toward the top, talking about J.P. Harrison at the airport. They're planning on replacing a hangar and not a terminal.
Okay. Any more additions or corrections? Ask for a motion to approve.
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Next item of business is changes to agenda. Do we have any? Chuck?
It came to light the other day that, some time ago, earlier this year, we passed a catastrophic sick leave bank ordinance, and at that time, we did not have a committee name for that to approve those people that were applying for it. So we have an ordinance to have a committee named for that catastrophic leave.
Okay. Jack?
I also got an ordinance I like to add at the very last, which would be DL.
Okay, will that one be chief?
Yes.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Sir, so would that be, the catastrophic sick leave committee would be letter probably E, and then the discussion is F, and then the, possibility of the other would be G, is that correct?
I understood it to be F and G.
Okay, we're gonna put them both at the bottom?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Next is public comments. Anybody have any? Raise your hand. Yes, ma'am. You have 3 minutes.
Albion Lake, I live over in the western side of the county, and I had read a little bit about the public safety taxes, discussing now the sales tax for radios, I guess, and antennas. I would like to see the entire county be as well equipped as we are on the western side. I know at one point in time, there was a lot of areas in the county that did not have good radio reception. I know frequently equipment needs to get upgraded, radios and what have you. On the western side, we're very fortunate. We've had the ambulance district in place for a long time, and I can attest that if they weren't there, I wouldn't be standing here today. They saved my life last year. I don't want to see one life lost in this county because we didn't want to raise a few dollars to improve equipment, antennas, or whatever it takes. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, ma'am?
I live on County Road 905, and to see the new equipment out there that y'all have. The equipment is only as good as its operator. And the operators that we've had on our roads, they're good people. I know all of them, and I consider them friends, but I also know they're not adequately trained in what they're doing. I've lived on that road 20 years, and I've watched it deteriorate from where it used to be 4 miles in, it was 2 car widths wide. Not anymore. Wilderness Point Bible Camp is on that road. In here, just in a month or two, they're going to start in there, and I guarantee you the people that will be traveling on that road do not know how to drive on dirt roads. If you don't know where to pull out, you can have an accident up there. It scares people. And what's sad to me is to see new equipment up there with untrained operators. One more time, we have a new operator. He's a very nice young man, but training would certainly be nice, and overseeing that road better, because right now, my husband and I were talking about the fact you could use some dirt and gravel up there. Not really. There's so much dirt and gravel on the sides of that road where it's built up 2 and 3 feet high, most of the length of that road. If you just took a backhoe up there, you could get all the dirt you need just to pull it back out of the ditches and put it back up on the road. And it's really sad to me to see us going backwards instead of forwards. 20 years ago when I moved out there, that was a good road. Now, it's a sad road in disrepair. And I'd just like to see something done about it, and I'd like to see training for our operators is what I'd really like to see.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, sir.
Richard Williams, this is about the tax coming up. Is there going to be public comment allowed in on this discussion that's coming up at the end in the agenda?
No, sir.
Okay, in that case, then I oppose it. And what it is, this is sounding like we've seen on TV and in the news, just like the ambulance district tax we had on the eastern side. It was forced through with fear that people wouldn't be able to get an ambulance if the tax wasn't passed. And here we are. This didn't just happen in the last 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Why is it that all of a sudden we need to pass a $6 million tax for the people here, just jam it down their throats? If you don't, we're not going to be able to get an ambulance to you, we're not going to be able to get a fire truck or police to you. And there are other, looking at the different avenues of raising money other than sales tax, and there are other ways here to raise money for the county for this.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Anyone else? If not, we'll move on in the meeting. Next item of business is number 8, miscellaneous. Matt, you want to introduce?
I will. Rhonda Moore with Mercy Hospital is here to give a brief update on what's going on at the hospital. Thank you for coming, Rhonda.
Sure. Hi. Just take a few minutes to touch base with you and let you know what's going on with Mercy Hospital in Berryville. We are in the process of replacing one of our hospital board members who's going to be terming off in June. We don't have that board member's name to give to you, but we plan to next month, so I'll make sure that you have that. And I think that those were the only other changes for the board members, and you had a list of those last time. The person that's going to be leaving or terming off is Harley Barnum, and so he's from Holiday Island, and so we'll be looking for someone from the west part of the county, if possible, to be that replacement. We try to keep representatives from all areas. Otherwise, we did reopen the Mercy Green Forest Clinic November 1st of 2018, and we have a family practice clinic there with a couple of nurse practitioners working, and they're averaging about 20 patients a day seeing. And we do have convenient care open between Green Forest and Eureka 7 days a week. Each of them are open 6 days a week to give their staff 1 day off. In addition, the family practice clinic there by the hospital has some extended hours. So our goal really is to have a few extended hours in all 3 locations so people can get in to see a physician if they're working. And probably the biggest excitement for me anyway is we're getting some new providers, and that's really a challenge sometimes, as you know, of just recruit people to rural areas. Dr. Jonathan Fawcett is a family practice physician, and he's starting July 1. I met him, and I think you'll really enjoy getting to know him and his family. He has 4 children, and number 5 is on the way. So I believe he has purchased a home in Berryville already. So Dr. Osborne is another physician that's going to be moving to work here. He actually right now is on the East Coast doing his residency, but he will be working in the emergency department full-time. Again, our goal is to have regular, what we call integrated mercy physicians, so they're mercy employees. So we have the same physicians working in the emergency department all the time. Now, they're going to still have to have time off, like anybody else, but Dr. Osborne will be the 4th integrated physician, so we'll only have about 1 more position to fill, and then we'll have full-time staff, ER, docs, all the time. And I think that's important. We also have Dr. Jesse Taylor, and he is, his specialty is gastrointestinal, or GI, as we say, and so he's coming here a couple of times a month right now and doing scopes for people who need colonoscopies, or what we say lower bowel scopes or upper GI scopes. And we've been working on getting him credentialed and Arkansas licensed for a while. So he's another addition that we're really excited to have. Other than that, I think really that's the highlights. Do you have any questions that I might be able to answer?
Marty?
What's the deal?
That's Doctor of Osteopathic Medicine. You have 2 tracks, a medical doctor or a DO. They both are licensed. They both have a little bit different training. A DO has a little more focus on what they call integrative medicine, so it's kind of a whole body. I've worked with both disciplines most all of my nursing career in healthcare, and they're both good. It's a good question, though.
Yes, ma'am.
I was just, forgive me for not knowing the answer to this, but why did the clinic in Green Forest have to be reopened? It was closed?
It had closed down, apparently. I think it was prior to my arrival, maybe 2.5 years ago, possibly a little bit longer. And I don't have a mercy history to tell you that. I think it was lack of provider coverage, but I'm kind of guessing that.
Yeah, I'll stand up if I can. I'm Cody Qualls. I'm at the hospital as well. Sorry to interject, but we had a wonderful physician there, Dr. Fonzia Kadir, and long story short, she had moved up here to accept the position with the hopes her husband would relocate, and long story short, his job didn't work out. That's been about, I believe, 4 years ago. So we lost the MD that was working in Green Forest. So, yeah, we had to use our resources in Berryville. We had to close the clinic. Now it is reopened, and we're thankful for that.
Mm-hmm. We're continuing, I'll just add on to that, we're continuing to work with Mercy Northwest Arkansas, which is Rogers, which is like our sister hospital, and they really have been very supportive. We are working very hard to get more physicians because it, in my opinion anyway, it really does start there. If you don't have that good, solid physician base, you're not going to have the access for as many people in the community. We're still looking at services, and as I had said last time, we can't be all to everybody, but we want to meet those needs as much as possible, and part of that is because Rogers is really and in turn, that really helps everybody.
Don?
Dr. Fawcett, is he going to be full-time in the hospital?
Yes. In the emergency department is Dr. Osborne, and Dr. Fawcett is full-time family practice. Now, whether he will work full-time in Berryville, whether he will want to work Green Forest, whether he'll want a combination, that's really going to be up to him. I will say we are also continuing to interview other physicians that are going to be graduating next year and so forth, so we're continuing to work on that constantly.
Okay, I was wondering, because I know all doctors have to be attached to a hospital.
nowadays, is that right? You know, they have a doctor's office here, but they still have to be able to.
Well, without getting into a long story on that, they can be hired as a clinic physician, and that's what Dr. Fawcett would be, and it's up to he and the hospital whether or not he's credentialed and privileged and has hospital privileges. But we have two physicians that we call hospitalists, and so they have hospital privileges, and they round on the patients every day. That way, the physicians that are working in the clinic don't have to do double duty. They can just see patients, you know, every day.
Anyone else? Thank you.
My pleasure.
Next item of business is old business, and we don't have any, so we'll go to new business. Under A, would you read that, Ms. Connie, please?
Yes. An ordinance to amend ordinance number 2017-40, the 2018 budget ordinance for year-end record keeping.
Move to adopt.
Matt moves to adopt, Jack second. Any discussion?
This is just finalizing some details from the budget, just trying to get everything squared away, and I think we're finally there.
Okay. Anyone else? Call for the vote.
J.P. Deaton?
Yes.
J.P. Olson?
Yes.
J.P. Carroll?
Yes.
J.P. Johnson?
Yes.
J.P. Phillips?
Yes?
J.P. Hicks?
Yes.
J.P. Mack? Yes. J.P. McNeely?
Yes.
J.P. Hall?
Yes.
J.P. Swafford?
Yes.
J.P. Howerton?
Yes.
Next item of business is B. Would you read that, Ms. Connie?
A supplemental appropriation ordinance amending ordinance number 2018-46, the 2019 budget ordinance, to directly reflect the recommendations of the Joint Budget and Finance Committee.
Move to adopt.
Chuck moves to adopt, Chuck second. Any discussion?
This was just a manifold error in the beginning, it's just $20,000, where it was totaled up to $557, it should have been $577. Just something we caught when we was going, studying the paperwork, so.
Anyone else? Call for the vote.
J.P. Deaton?
Yes.
J.P. Olson?
Yes.
J.P. Carroll? Yes. J.P. Johnson?
Yes.
J.P. Phillips?
Yes?
J.P. Hicks?
Yes.
J.P. Mack? Yes. J.P. McNeely?
Yes.
J.P. Hall?
Yes.
J.P. Swafford?
Yes.
J.P. Howerton?
Yes.
Next item of business is C. Would you read that, Ms. Connie, please?
Supplemental appropriation ordinance amending ordinance number 2018-46, the 2019 budget ordinance, and appropriating funds received for the Department of County Road, Detention, and 911 dispatch.
Move to adopt.
I'll second it.
And Matt second. Any discussion? Scott?
Some of this we discussed last thing, this some materials, the road department sold some junk culverts, and, the road department just got rid of some surplus equipment, and got this money went back to county general, and now it's been dispersed out of county general back into the respective departments.
Anyone else? Call for the vote.
J.P. Deaton?
Yes.
J.P. Olson?
Yes.
J.P. Carroll? Yes. J.P. Johnson?
Yes.
J.P. Phillips?
Yes?
J.P. Hicks?
Yes.
J.P. Mack? Yes. J.P. McNeely?
Yes.
J.P. Hall?
Yes.
J.P. Swafford?
Yes.
J.P. Howerton?
Yes.
Next item of business is D. Would you read that, Ms. Connie, please?
In ordinance amending ordinance 2018-46, budget ordinance and appropriating funds to the Department of the Sheriff for funds received on vehicle insurance claims.
Move to adopt.
I'll second.
Matt second. Any discussion? Okay,
These vehicles the sheriff got rid of, totaled out to the insurance or whatever, that money was in turn brought back in and used to help purchase on the new CID unit, correct?
any more discussion? Call for the vote.
J.P. Deaton?
Yes.
J.P. Olson?
Yes.
J.P. Farrell? Yes. J.P. Johnson?
Yes.
J.P. Phillips?
Yes.
J.P. Hicks?
Yes.
J.P. Mack? Yes. J.P. McNeely?
Yes.
J.P. Hall?
Yes.
J.P. Swafford?
Yes.
And J.P. Howerton?
Yes.
Did you all want to do these first, or F and G first?
Just do,
Chuck?
Do the ordinances first, then we're in the discussion last
I
time.
want to do,
Well,
no,
No?
do your ordinance first.
Okay.
One would be F, would you read it, Ms. Jamie?
an ordinance creating a catastrophic sick leave bank advisory committee.
Chuck?
Move to adopt.
Who's second? Jack second.
I'm sorry, who's second?
Jack.
Chuck?
When the catastrophic sick leave ordinance was adopted a month or two ago, one of the things that we neglected to do was have an ordinance to form a committee to administrate it. This is what this ordinance is for.
Okay, more discussion. Don?
Who, are you gonna pick, these people to be on this, committee as employees of the county?
Chuck?
Yes, they're the elected officials, section one and name three. And or their deputies.
Any more discussion? Call for the vote.
J.P. Deaton?
Yes.
J.P. Olson?
Yes.
J.P. Farrell? Yes. J.P. Johnson?
Yes.
J.P. Phillips?
Yes.
J.P. Hicks?
Yes.
J.P. Mack? Yes. J.P. McNeely?
Yes.
J.P. Hall?
Yes.
J.P. Crawford?
Yes.
J.P. Howerton?
Yes.
Next item of business will be E. Would you read that, Ms. Conley, please?
On the discussion,
Huh? Oh,
the discussion.
you want to go back to E?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, go back to E. Would you read that?
Well, the discussion will be concerning the radio product and public safety sales tax.
Okay. Chuck?
Start out with, and first off, Mr. Williams, we've been trying to shove this down you guys' throat. This has been something going on for a long time. We've been putting a lot of Band-Aids on, and it's just continually getting worse, and we're looking for options. We have 4 options. First is do nothing, as we've been done before, keep putting Band-Aids on. We're eventually gonna run out of Band-Aids, and the system's gonna go down. It may last another month, it may last another 2 years. You know, it just depends on the situation, and everybody's got a lot of electronics at home. You know when we're gonna go out? You know, we don't know. Number 2, we can go with not necessarily a cheaper rate, a little bit difference, which is called the next stage analog. At this point, we could operate for a short time. The government's gonna make us, we're still not digital, and we're still back the same way we are now. 2 years down the road, we're gonna be in trouble again. Or we could go next stage digital, and then Bearville PD, Eureka PD, part of Eureka Springs Fire, none of the rest of them could, because they're not digital yet. So then they're gonna spend thousands of dollars to buy equipment to talk digital. And there again, this particular one is a standalone system. Other departments coming in could not communicate on this unless they had the next stage system, which is not a good deal, because it's not compatible. The fourth choice is the sales tax. We could do, and best my figures, and I've been working many hours on this, we could get by with a very short sunset clause, probably 4 years, raise enough money to, and that's the problem, everybody's misunderstanding, we're not buying new towers. We're not doing anything, all we're doing is updating the towers we have now. There's a couple of them that has to have new facilities put up and equipment, because one of the towers we had, the building was rotting down, and birds got in there and just destroyed the electronics of this thing. So basically, what we're looking at doing is rebuilding 7 towers, which we've already got the 7 towers that are up and running, is rebuilding them with brand new, state-of-the-art equipment, which lasts us for many, many years. And at the same time, we're still keeping the old system going, to the new system totally installed and tested, and then we'd switch over. At the same time, this money would generate enough to buy all the departments in the county, every rural fire station, every police station, the sheriff's office, everybody would be coming up with a new radio system that lasts us for many years down the road. You know, I've talked to Sam back there, we've been working this radio system, trying to do what he could do. This was a 3-phase project that I brought up about 3 years ago when we started out. The first phase was to get our dispatch center rebuilt, re-equipped with new equipment, and we've got it there. It cost a lot of money, but it was one of the cheaper ones to do. It's up and running now, but it still has problems because of the frequencies we're running on. My suggestion is to apply for the license for the upper echelon. We can get them and hold them for 5 years until we get operating. After 5 years, you're not using that license, they'll take it away from you. At the same time, we will be able to get this thing up to a vote in March of 2020, instead of spending $25,000 or $30,000 for a special election now. And I wouldn't mind spending taxpayers' dollars for that if it passed. If it failed, we just throw away another $25,000 to $30,000. And the last thing on my deal here is that I've got an ordinance that I'm either going to decide to leave on the books or take off here in just a minute that would point. It's no sense in Jack Beaton being involved doing all this stuff. It's a community deal. You know, I worked in emergency service for 32 years. There's a lady back there talked a while ago, lives that say, I could fill this room with people that's, their lives have been saved because of a 911 system. Okay? But right now, it's not up to me. It's up to these gentlemen out here, and when we got sitting here that uses this system every day, and I think we need to form a committee of the individuals, professionals that's using this equipment, and let them pick up where I've left off, and let's come up with a good functioning system and an ideal way to fund it.
Chuck?
Another item that really needs to be considered is the fact that the equipment that we have nowadays is dated. It's not manufactured anymore, and it is very difficult to come by. So as our equipment fails, and I know I've been buying radios, there are radios on eBay, and there's very few of them left out there. So we are not in a position where it's our choice really to stay where we are, okay? And that's what Jack is saying. We've got to move. A couple different options which way we move, but if we move with the P25, that's a Project 25, and that's what the state and FEMA have recommended, we'll be up with everybody else. We've got to do something, okay? We've got to move, and that's, in my opinion, the direction we need to go.
Yes, ma'am?
I have a few questions. So, are we talking about, we got this report that we were handed last time, and so are we talking about updating as this Mr. Benson recommended? Is that what the, so just to be, so that it's all out in the open, I would like to know if Mr. Benson has ever worked for any of the organizations that might profit off of us doing this, just so that that's, you know,
Yeah.
He's retired. He has worked in many different fields in Oklahoma and parts of different states. He's retired now, and he's volunteered his time to help us out, making some of the decisions we've made to keep our equipment up and running. Mr. Ward back there knows him better than I do. I've never met him. I've talked to him some, but he does not have a vested interest in any manufacturer. The system we're talking about going to now does not pin down a specific manufacturer because there's many different brands of radios out there. And the system he's suggesting doing, any of those radios will work on that system.
So another question is, if the tax doesn't go through, do we have a plan B? I mean, it seems like we have to have something in place, because if we're talking about March, which nicely, the primary's been moved up, so that makes it sooner, which is great, but what happens if the tax doesn't go through?
John?
One of those options we threw out there, you know, for a little over $1 million feet, a little over $1 million, we can get a system up to work for a while, but it's gonna crash again too. You know, there's other departments that's out there working, that they will work for a while, but I'm not sure how long, as long as we stay in the megahertz range that we're in now, it's getting very, very congested. Eureka Springs back there has got digital, and they're sealing that, and Brian, you getting much interference right now? But we don't know how long it's gonna last. He's in a unique situation, he's not getting in and out, you know, we don't know, it's uncharted.
So if we did go with this system, and Mr. Benson recommended, how would our communication be with the surrounding counties, even in Missouri and here in Arkansas?
A lot of the other counties around here is doing the same way we are. Some of them is already gone. And, the neat thing is, the radio that we're getting will be where they can switch back and talk to other departments.
I'm sorry, the whole issue of consolidation that the state is talking about, and someone mentioned it last time, is there any way, I mean, I hate to go through all this and raise the taxes, and then the state says, oh, we're combining you with stuff. It sounds to me like the state is mainly having one system per county, and that's most of what the consolidation has been, but is there any way for us to find out more about whether or not we could be just put in with another county?
Mr. Hicks?
Hey, bear with me, I'm kind of losing my voice, but I do like the idea of forming a committee of some individuals throughout the county that, you know, have some experience in this, and I still think we ought to exhaust all other options before we ask for tax. But getting some individuals throughout the county that can help us with this, I think would be very good.
Larry?
If we go to this, and let's use, for instance, the city of Burrillville does it, are they not gonna be able to communicate? Or they will still be able to? And I guess in the second part of that question is, I'm being told that Berryville PD and Fire Department are both looking at an upgrade that would take care of them for 3 to 4 years. That may not be right, but that's what I'm hearing. Have we got different equipment to what they've got that we can upgrade?
Chuck?
What I understand is, we can do that for 3 to 5 years, and we're right back where we are now. So we won't, and that's about $1 million, we can million on that, say $1.8 million.
Yeah, 1.8.
1.8 million to get us another 3 years down the road. Do we wanna spend $1.8 million for 3 more years down the road, and turn around and still need that $6 or $7 million?
Larry?
How far is the $6 million gonna get us down the road?
Best estimate, 15 years or better.
Marty?
So this is mandated by the government, right?
Chuck?
Yes.
Well, it's not mandated yet.
Not yet.
Not yet, and no one can tell us when it's going to be,
Right.
which is a crucial point.
Right. So, you know, you can take the one or whatever, and 5 years down the road, they may change their mind anyway, if the regime changes. If, you know, there's nothing saying that the same bunch that's in there now is gonna be in there whenever. And they might just totally change their mind. And you got a bunch of equipment you bought, it's good, but if it ain't up to their standards, you know, you see what I'm saying?
Chuck?
I think what we're saying here is number one, we do have a radio quality issue that we need to address by moving to a less congested frequency, okay, which would be higher. Say, we're at basically the VHF, the very high, we're going to ultra high, okay? And that will help us considerably. That's the direction I think we need to go, no matter what happens with the protocol that we take. And that's what Jack's talking about this P25 and this next edge, is the fact that these are protocols by different companies that they have, okay? We want to go to one, and that's the P25, that's recommended by FEMA, or recommended by the state right now. Now, Marty, is it ever going to change in the future?
Sure.
Yeah, we don't know, we hope not, but we can't count on that.
Kelly?
Well, I was wondering, I may have nothing to do with it, but what about this, Act 660 with the 911? Is that something completely different with the statewide radio program,
Yeah.
Next Generation 911? Is that totally different than what?
That kind of went along with what Harry was talking about a while ago. I've got it here someplace. It's coming down the line, what they're doing is they're adding, before the 911 system was getting charged for your landlines at home so much. Well, people getting rid of it. So what they come back now, they're gonna charge, I think it's $2.25 or $2.40 a line, regardless whether it's your private, your landline or your cell phone. It's gonna generate another $18 million. But at the same time, I think there's 127 PSAP for dispatch type deals in the state. They're gonna cut it back to 77, which is basically one per county. And that's where that money's gonna go, and that's for the dispatch system itself. And we're one of the smaller counties in the state, so you don't know how much money that we're gonna get out of the deal. But yeah, there's gonna be some money coming down, but it's gonna be strictly dealing with the dispatch itself. It's not gonna have anything to do with the radios out, what I understand. And if I made one more question for Marty's deal, you're right on that, because what happened was, several years ago, we operated under what they call it, 25 kilohertz, I believe it was. In other words, you picture a box, and these all these frequencies being used in this box. When we went to what's called narrowband, they went from 25 to 1250. And so they took half of it, and we scattered those two out into there, and he said, you're gonna be mandated, you gotta have a radio to operate on narrowband. Well, I sat around for a couple of years, getting a lot of these radios, and nothing ever happened. I said, forget about it, I'll just keep using these radios anyway, and all of a sudden, time to renew my license. Unless you could prove you was narrowband, you couldn't get a license. And so they dropped the bomb on us there. Now they're gonna go to 6 1/4, which will be digital, but they're talking, and it's in that letter, that little deal we give you, they may do it next year, they may do it next year after that, we really don't know. But once they do, if you'll be like you live your radios if you're running without that license. And so, I agree, we don't, but I don't wanna be sitting here and tomorrow we find out that we're all in trouble with our radios and have to hustle around to do something about it.
Marty?
Well, like Mr. Earl was saying, could we not tap into the next county's stuff and everybody save money without having to, each county be spending ungodly amounts of money for stuff that we really don't know when it's gonna happen? And could we not tap into Boone and County, Washington?
John?
All this ordinance is to form a committee to try to answer these questions that we around the state. So I think we need to proceed to do this committee and then discuss later on whether or not we're gonna take the committee's advice.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm wondering, in addition to the advisory committee idea, we also have a foreign court committee to deal with these issues now, and as they continue to come up throughout the process, we do end up, if the tax passes, and even to get to the point where we get the tax to the voters, do we need a committee on top of this?
Chuck?
I just want to make one comment about what Marty said. Yeah, we could go in with Boone County or Madison County, but we still need our own equipment on our own towers and our own radios, okay? So that piece of it wouldn't change at all.
I'm with John, I think the discussion is supposed to be about forming a committee.
Okay, so that's...
Right?
It's really the overall, but anyway, back to what you was talking about, the committee we're talking about in the next subject comes up. The meeting will be looking into options, like Mr. Williams said back there, I hope we find something out there that's the golden goose that's gonna take care of us. I'll look long and hard and I can't, but state statute says once the court, this committee would be reporting back to the foreign court with their findings. Once the decision is made, if it's made, to go ahead and put the tax up, we've got 120 days after that to go to the voters. And so we cannot, with that in mind, we cannot make a decision until December of this year. So we've got plenty of time to research everything and campaign for this tax and try to change Mr. Williams' mind back there and a few others to support it. And so, as far as the committee goes, this committee will report back to us and give them this information.
All right.
The only thing that bothers me is the people that are mandating this, that we need to go to a frequency that's not so crowded, is the same people that have let out so many licenses that have caused one to be overcrowded now. And they'll do the same thing eventually on the other one. And I've been here long enough, I'm well aware of unfunded mandates. But they can mandate all they want to. If you don't have the money to spend, they can't make you spend anything if you don't have the money to do it. It's kind of like the blood and the turnip deal. But I think we need to go ahead with the advisory board, let them check it. But I think when they come, this is an important enough issue when you're talking about sales tax and whatever. I think it needs to be the whole foreign court that listens to this advisory committee's recommendation, and then we can decide what to do from there. But it's a big enough issue that it needs everybody, you know. But we do need that committee to go forward and see what we need.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know if I should be waiting until we actually talk about the action to discuss what the ordinance says, or should I be bringing that up now? Basically, I was reading this real quickly because we just got it. I don't see where it clearly states that the members of the committee have to be spread out equally throughout the community. It does say from throughout the entire county, but I'd like it to show more clearly that there has to be some kind of a balance, that the whole county is represented fairly in there. So I'd like to see stronger wording on that.
Okay.
And the judge is going to be the one appointing, so he can keep that in mind where they're coming from. So
If we don't put it in here, he doesn't have to keep it in mind, so.
I'll let you write the next one.
Yes, ma'am.
Also, I don't see that we have an expiration date on this. It says that it would be appointed for 2 years, but do we want to have it say this is a temporary committee until this issue is resolved, or is that necessary?
Yeah.
This sheet will be dated, the one we approve will be dated for 2 years from this date, you know, or until we decide to withdraw this ordinance. I'll let Mr. Williams talk. I'll let Mr. Williams talk back there.
One time.
No problem. To the best of my knowledge, you can form a committee without an ordinance. An ordinance, you have to pay to publish in the paper and all. You form budget committees, every other kind of committee. Why do you have to pass an ordinance to form a committee this time?
I just thought it was a good idea to get it formally done in the paper.
It does state that there'll be 7 qualified members, 2 from law enforcement, 3 from the fire service, 2 city or community managers. So, I mean, it does have that language in there.
You could still have it without passing an ordinance, same situation, stipulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for the time.
I think it's time to move on. Would you read category G, Ms. Connie, please?
I will. An ordinance creating a public safety advisory board and study options to update the county's emergency communications system.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Second. discussion? Jack?
As I stated before, I've been working on this thing. I've met, Barry was very nice, let us use their fire station the other day. I met with police and fire over there. We pounded this thing around. I've been on the phone with different county and city people. It's time to pass it on to somebody that's using this all the time, because they know a lot more about it than I do, because I haven't used it in a couple, 3 years. And I think it's a good idea to get this thing out in the county, let everybody get a chance to voice their opinion on it, and have some good qualified people to go out there and make feelers and come up with some better ideas than I have.
Anyone else? Mr. Hay?
You're right, Randy, just because we're forming a committee doesn't mean there's gonna be a tax.
No.
This committee may say, hey, we don't need a tax, this is the plan. So, it's a great idea to get a committee.
Anyone else? Call for the vote?
J.P. Deaton?
Yes.
J.P. Olson?
Yes.
J.P. Farrow?
Yes.
J.P. Johnson?
Yes.
J.P. Phillips?
Yes.
J.P. Hicks?
Yes.
J.P. Mack?
Yes.
J.P. McNeely?
Yes.
J.P. Hall?
Yes.
J.P. Swafford?
Yes.
J.P. Howerton?
Yes.
We done F yet?
I'm done.
I think that next was to, J.P. Thomas.
Mhm.
Next on the agenda is JP comments, none agenda. And when one JP makes a comment, no one else replies to it, okay?
The budget, combination budget, for the meeting met at 4:00. Remember, we appropriated $50,000 earlier in the year to spend on the courthouse. Since that time, we spent $97.50 on the foundations. We spent $3,000 on materials for the judge's office. We're spending $2,200 on a new iron door, like the county and Ramona's office. We're still in the process of doing the guttering and fixing some problems other than the roof. We spent $19,545. We put in a sliding door and window in Connie's office for $321. I did a walkthrough with remember we approved to spend the $500 on the electrician to inspect this building. I did a walkthrough today. There's about another $500 in parts and labor to fix some of the gigs he's found. There were some other issues that Scotty, our janitor / maintenance gentleman, has been taking care of for us, so we're gonna have $1,000 in getting everything back up to code where we should be, except one little problem back here we gotta work with, there's a desk covering up the electrical panel. Which leaves us $8,300 out of that $50,000, and we're planning on, there's some problems in Connie's office on the electrical panels and some boxes need to be replaced in there, and we agreed to work on that next. And so, that's all we got on that.
Anyone else have a JP comment? If not, we sold some stuff for court order 2019-10 to Carroll County Road Department. Had a large pile of old culverts. They had no value other than scrap. They were sold to Big Rock Landscaping. Received a check for $3,792.85 and was appropriated back into the road department. For court order 2019-11, the detention center had an old refrigerator. The 911 dispatch had several pieces of metal, including the old Zetron cabinets, to be scrapped and sold. We sold the metal for $67.50 from Alder Metal Recycling. $33.75 was appropriated back into detention center. $33.75 went to 911 dispatch. Also, we received our auditing finding back from our auditing, and on their findings, number 2, credit card bills were not paid in full due to the sheriff's office not submitting all invoices with the credit card statement. This resulted in an increasing credit card balance and finance charges being assessed by the credit card company and paid by the county. Number two, again, bids were not taken on expenditures $20,000 and above in non-compliance with Arkansas Code 1422-101, 1422-115. The sheriff's office failed to obtain bids on an expenditure totaling $66,238.54 from DCS Radio Communication Incorporated. Number three, a contract was not entered into for work performed by DCS. The county should ensure all construction projects entered into have signed contracts. Number three, review of the prior year of audit 2016 was noted as being received during the 8/2018 Forum Court meeting. However, no discussion of the company comments and recommendations was noted in non-compliance with Arkansas Code Antidote 10-4-418. One asset selected for siting was unable to be located. I sent a court order to Lance Woodworth, which is over Division of Legislative Audit in Harrison. Mr. Woodworth, I addressed each finding and will work harder to properly correct each issue. We will ensure all supported documents is submitted in a timely manner, as so do not accrue finance charges on credit card bills. We will ensure that all expenditures above $20,000 will be obtained by bids according to Arkansas Code 14-22-101, 1422-15. The county shall ensure all construction projects have entered into signed contracts. I will review the prior year audit report and its findings in the next scheduled Forum Court meeting to comply with ACA 10-4-418. We will take greater care to ensure all assets are able to be located. Respectfully, Samuel Barr, Mayo 4/4/19. I'd like to thank everybody for coming. Y'all have a good evening. Thank you again. Look for a motion to adjourn. Kelly second, all in favor? Aye. We're adjourned.